Right, I'm going to say this once and once only. The best study technique that you need to use depends heavily on the type of subject you are revising. Every single day I am asked, what's the best study technique? What study method should I use if I'm revising? Let me explain to you what I did. On the whole, there were only two main study methods that I used for my exams, and that I continue to use at university. If you have never seen my face before, my name is Tilly. I got 5 A stars in my A levels. I got almost all grade 9s at GCSE because I did get to it. And I currently read economics at university. I graduate this year. I am in my final year of study. In general, when I was revising for my qualitative versus my quantitative subjects at GCSE and A, I would bucket them as such and use different study methods. So when I was revising maths and science, I would revise very differently to how I revised for English and history. When I was revising for my essay-based subjects, my descriptive subjects, and my content-dense subjects, I would focus on using blurting. So taking a single specification point, nothing too broad. Unless it was close to exams, I would use broad blurting, so the entirety of theme 3, for example, but before that I would focus on specific topics. So maybe I would write down everything that I knew about Lady Macbeth, everything I knew about her, the main quotes, all of the themes that were portrayed through her character. For history, I would take a specific time period or a specific event and write down everything that happened in chronological order. I would use this blurting, this brain dump approach, and then I would correct what I'd gotten wrong or what I'd missed out on in a different column. Then if we move over to maths and science, this is something that I would do for some of the more content-dense topics in science. However, for science, a lot of the time I would be revising using practice paper questions. This is how I would structure my revision. So I would identify what I needed to revise by actually doing the practice paper questions first and foremost, because obviously there were some topics that I found really easy that I'd done time and time again that I didn't need to spend time revising, or at least revising to the extent I was revising other topics. For maths, it was the same, except you really cannot do a brain dump on maths. You just need to develop this mathematical toolkit and be able to apply it in new settings. But the key here is that for both of these type of subjects, you need to be incorporating exam practice somewhere, because you could know everything about the Cold War for GCSE history, and then if you don't understand how to answer an exam question, you're still not going to get the top grade. But the key takeaway from this video should be that you need to incorporate active recall in every single revision session, because this is the most effective way to revise and ingrain these concepts into your long-term memory. If you like this video, be sure to save it for later, and if you found it helpful, be sure to follow if you want to see daily study tips.